Hello and welcome to Talking Good Gamers match preview of AFC Wimbledon against West Ham United in the fourth round of the FA Cup. This could be a bit of a short start, but Gonzo will start as always. What's your thoughts on our opponents?
Well, we just go with the club, first and foremost. They are the real Dons, not the MK Dons. If any club has been put through the mincer, then it's Wimbledon. I think it's been absolutely atrocious. I mean, people think I've been going soft. I was speaking nicely about Sunderland yesterday as well. And I'm sure I'll be back on form soon. But I've got a lot of sympathy for that club and what has happened to them. I just think it's absolutely disgusting. They've been sold down the river. But I'm really, really pleased that they're moving back to their spiritual home. Well, next door anyway. So the Plough Lane site, but actually the dog track rather than the original stadium part. But it's close enough and it's good enough for them. I'm delighted with them. In terms of football, it ain't so great. They're bottom of League One. They lost 3-0 last night, by the way, against Fleetwood. I think Ched Evans scored twice. So not so good from that point of view, mate.
No, Charlie, what about yourself? Do you know anything other than the fact that they are rock bottom of League One, 8 points from safety?
No, the only other thing I really know is that they have Wally Downs as the manager, who, of course, we all know because he was with us as a coach. And I think the truth is with him is that when they got him in, no other club in probably league football would have touched him as a manager. At that point, he's had that storm, the whole thing going on about Twitter, and also he's just not that experienced and not got a huge amount of credentials to his name. And I think the only reason he really got that job was because he has history at the club. And I think when you do that, it either goes two ways. You either really motivate everyone and everyone moves in a positive direction, or it just they're clearly inexperienced and it doesn't go well. And the fact that, like you said, they're bottom of the league probably suggests that the latter is happening.
I spoke to a Wimbledon fan earlier, and he was just saying that it's sort of one step too far. They've been coming up with promotions, etc. It's been all fun and games, really. They've been doing it against they've had the backing of the general public, if you like, i.e. Gonzo, etc. Anyone that is involved in football wants to see them do well and get to where they should be. And they've come all the way up to League One, then they've sort of gone a bit too far. They've hit where they need a little bit more money and they just don't have it, type thing. And he said to me that he's already looking forward to August. He's written this season off. They're going to be in League Two next year. He's aware of that. So I said, what about this game, etc.? Is that distraction? No, you can't even muster the optimism or the enthusiasm for this game because it's just been draining since August, if you like. But Charlie, they are bottom of League One. They're 8 points from safety. Now, if their general fan base is sort of accepting relegation already, is this a good thing or a bad thing, the FA Cup? Are they going to be fearless or are they going to be sort of season's over type thing?
There's no real way of knowing. If you can't get a consistent battle in the league, then the chances are you're probably not going to get a consistent battle in the cup. You think that it would translate into that sort of fearless attitude, like you said, but it tends not to, by and large. It tends to just be a sort of drip drab, and they sort of use it as a way to. They won't be, for them, even if they got a draw, that would be considered a success. If they made it hard and fought hard for it, then that would be considered a success. And I think that's all they're probably going to be looking for, as opposed to a big cut upset. They'd be looking to really make it hard. And to be fair, last time we faced them, they made it very hard for us, as far as I remember. So that's what I think we're going to be up against.
Gonzo, previously, if I said to you we'd be playing a League One side away from home Saturday night under the floodlights, etc., you'd maybe got the jitters a little bit. Do you have the jitters for this one, or what do you make of Wimbledon as an opponent?
Well, we're going to have I watched 5-minute highlights of the game against Fleetwood, and obviously we've seen them because we played against them, and I don't think Pellegrini took it initially too seriously. I think it was Diop, I think, maybe scored a really good goal, which sort of got us back into it. But it was really tight for a long, long time in that game, as I remember. From what I saw of the game last night, their goalkeeper doesn't catch the ball. He parries it all the time. And in fact, all 3 of Fleetwood's goals last night came from rebounds off the goalkeeper from him parrying them. You find them easy enough online. He literally parries each one into the 6-yard box and someone pops in. So Hernandez got to play tomorrow because, we need someone with long shots, and then I think it's job done. But I think the worst thing we can do is take this lightly, by the way. I know what you're saying about a lower league opposition and tripping us up. But the worst thing we can do is say, it's only Wimbledon, send a youth team out there, because you can't. We all say that we want the cup is our priority. I think it was pretty much certain we're safe in the league. You can't say the cup's my priority and chuck the reserves in. So I think we need to take it seriously. Maybe 1 or 2, as we might discuss in a minute. But I think I understand what you're saying. If we take it seriously and we have the majority, 7 or 8 first-team players out there, it should be a comfortable victory, I think.
My only fear comes from the fact for some of their players, this could be a shop window exercise. If they want to stay in League One next season, this is where they need to step up. They've got the cameras on them, etc. This could be their cup final type game of the season. They're at home. The crowd will be up for it. They always are when these types of FA Cup fixtures. That's why they're good for the TV. They're usually loud. They're usually noisy. It'll be packed out, etc. And everybody's waiting for that slip up, that little moment. We all seen against Leicester City in round 3 when on the Sunday night they went away to, was it Newport, I think, and they got beat 2-0 there. So everybody's waiting for it. The other thing is the financial benefits of them, as Charlie said, getting a draw or going through in this competition is massive for a league club. It's huge. It could almost finance them for a new player in the summer, etc., etc. So there's huge motivation there. And it's a good distraction for the league. They've lost their last 2 games, conceded 7 goals, etc. Morale will be low. The Wally Downs will be saying to them, forget the league, forget it. It doesn't matter. Going into this game, it does not matter. If we're going to get beat, let's get beat 5-3 by having a pop at them, etc. Let's try and cause them a bit of upset. Let's get in their faces. The Premier League players, he'll be saying to them, they don't like it rough, they don't like a tough tackle, so get in them early doors. If Anderson's playing, kick him into row Z, then we'll see what he does, etc. Pellegrini won't want his star players getting injured in this game, and that's exactly what Wimbledon will be thinking and saying. So let's move on to our team. Gonzo, you say you don't want a lot of changes. How much is a lot in your opinion?
I don't want I think you keep the centre backs the same. I guess he's going to do the goalkeeper. I wouldn't myself, as I think it's that stability of that. I totally agree. Change the fullbacks because I think what's coming in is good enough, for that. I think what I'm saying is I don't want a load of under 23s in central defence and central midfield. I do understand 1 or 2 changes. So I think that back line that I've just described, maybe if Fredericks has come back, that's a good one for him. We would hope that Fredericks is good enough for that, but I just don't think you can do lots of them. I don't want to see Andy Carroll up there. I want to see Hernandez up there, get the job done and then take him off if need be. I will understand maybe he might not play Noble, so he might play Obiang. That's fine. That's fine. But first team players, senior pros in the main with maybe a bit of Diangana on as well,
Charlie, is this a benefit of such a big squad that Pellegrini's got? While we do have a lot of injuries, as Gonzo said, the back 5, we can swap our keepers and we can swap our fullbacks and still play what you would consider first team squad players. Yeah,
and it's the benefit of just being the Premier League side and having been there for a while now, is we can have second choice Aaron Cresswell, Amasuaka, we can have second choice Frederick, whoever it is, who are good enough to play Premier League football. You'd hope. By and large, agree with what was said there as well. I think if I want to see any youth, it would be around the attacking options as opposed to the defensive. I think we keep that as consistent as possible. The only one who I would make the change is Adrian. Just bringing him in because he just needs to keep match form up basically, just in case anything does happen. If he does incredibly, maybe he does go force his way into first team best route. Not going to happen. So just to keep that match fitness. But apart from that, I think I basically agree with everything what Gonzo just said.
Gonzo, I think I'm going to agree with you here. No, fine, you're going to want to see 4-4-2 in this game. So who would you like to see in your midfield for?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, so I think you might want to give Rice a rest, and that's fine. Again, so let's have a little look. I think I would possibly look to play. I'd start with Snodgrass in this one because I think it's a good game for him. I'd probably start with Antonio as well. I mean, your suggestion that you seem to like, stick Snodgrass on the left, maybe play a bit of Noble and Obiang in the middle. That wouldn't be a bad midfield with Diangana and I don't know, it's tough, isn't it? Maybe Snodgrass go in the middle. I don't mind. Take your pick, but I wouldn't be adverse to Rice getting a bit of a rest and Obiang coming in alongside Noble. I think that midfield should be all right.
Yeah, I would like to see Rice rested for this one as well. I know he's a young lad, but he's been playing 90 minutes every single game now, and I do worry that he's going to hit a wall. Also, I think we have to factor in, when we play Birmingham, we had a week until our next game. We play our next game on Tuesday night after this one. So the last thing you want is this game being quite a tough one. We don't know what the playing surface will be like. I don't know. Gonzo might know because he's seen the highlights, etc. But this playing surface is League One standard, winter standard as well, with the weather battering. It might be tough on some of the players for playing 90 minutes on that one. I would like to see Snodgrass on the left. I just want to see him because I've got a feeling Carroll's going to start up front, whether we want him to or not. I don't want to see him start up front. Snodgrass on the left, Diangana on the right for me. I think He's got his new contract now. That lad will be buzzing. I think you give him the chance. And I would rest Antonio as a reward. Say, you're starting against Wolves. You've done fantastic in the last few games. Your place against Wolves is signed, sealed, and delivered. Sit this one out. Have a little rest and let Snodgrass and Diangana battle it out to see who's sort of second choice right winger, if you like. And I'd play Obiang naturally by default. I'd actually play Nasri centre midfield alongside him. One, I think he needs the fitness work. And two, I think we need someone creative in there. Someone that's going to be able to say, just give me the ball every single time, whenever you, all the defenders, when you get the ball, give it to me and I'll pull something. I'll pull the strings. I think Nasri's that playmaker for us on Saturday night. Charlie, what about yourself? You can sometimes be a bit more of a 4-2-3-1 fan, but what formation would you like to see and how would you line up the midfield?
Yeah, I mean, you've preempted me there. 4-2-3-1. I would not drop Rice. I would rest him as well. I think he just deserves it. It's too many games in too small space of time. Why risk it? We don't need it. They're not exactly going to be doing a huge amount of pressure from those sort of positions anyway. So I think for me, it would be Noble and Obiang because I think they can cover that. They've worked in the past together. They sort of should be able to deal with that. And plus, two good passes of the ball should be able to contain and really push forward. And when we have high fullbacks, that should work as well. Diangana would start for me. I think he deserves a chance. He's got little bits here and there, minutes here and there since his good run that he had. And I think now's a great opportunity to give him some more minutes. For me, it would either be in the sort of role behind the striker. It would either be Nasri, as you said, or Snodgrass. I think you play one of those two in that role to sort of... I think you need someone who's just got great passing just behind the striker. And although Snodgrass is a significant step down from Nasri, I think he's smart enough to be able to move and works hard enough to be able to press as well. And then on the left, I'd actually start Silva. Although I don't want to see that many youth players, I think it's just give him as much game time as we can. To be honest with you, I think that's the key for his development at this point is game time. And giving him the game time out wide, I think is just a better opportunity than up front where all the pressure is going to be on him. If we put him out on the left, then he can... We saw it in the last game when he played on left. He made some nice runs, some nice interchanges. And with, say, if Nasri was in that role, he would probably link up quite nicely with him. So I'd give him the start and then up front Hernandez, just because I just want someone who can put the ball in the net.
Interesting. In his press conference earlier, Pellegrini stated Markovic has been training with no problem. This week, we also, Perez was dropped from the squad completely against Bournemouth, and Pellegrini stated that he hadn't been training hard enough. And the word is that we have seen a significant improvement in Perez's application on the training ground. Hernandez is obviously back. Andy Carroll's dying for a goal, if you like. So Gonzo, he's got plenty of options up front. And of course, he's got the youngster Silva. Now, me and you both got two slots up there, but what two would you like to see face Wimbledon?
Well, I would have liked to have seen Arnautovic and Hernandez would have been my chosen. I just didn't get these boys out of there. I mean, and I totally understand about resting Anderson. He's so pivotal, but I'd still have him on the bench to come on. I mean, this is not. I cannot, Gio, go on for year after year after year about the cup being important, and then come in here and start telling you, I'm sorry, I want this. That I mean, I want to start with a bunch of under 23 players. I don't, and there's a few of them I would like them to get their chance, but not this way. And I'd have Silva on there. I'd have Silva on the bench. I really would, and I would start Diangana. The more after I'd said about Antonio, the more I thought about it. But I almost don't see Diangana as a youth player. I think he's proven himself in the first team. He is now a first team squad player, maybe not a first teamer, and he's proven that he can do the business. And I think, but I'd go with Arnie and Hernandez up front.
I'd like to see Silva and Hernandez. Hernandez for the simple fact that he's the poacher and he should be number one choice to start up front against Wolves, really. Pellegrini should be saying to him, look, you do well here, you get a goal on the hour mark, I'll take you off, rest you, and you start against Wolves on Tuesday. It's simple as that. The striker slot for Tuesday against Wolves is up for grabs. It is. Carroll started against Bournemouth, didn't work out. So whoever's up front against Wimbledon has an opportunity to get that shirt for the Wolves game. That is all the motivation in the world they need. I would have Hernandez up front and say, this is yours to lose, really. And I'd also see Silva up there. I thought he was fantastic against Birmingham. I think he was one of our best players against them. He had the hunger. He was trying to make things happen. He looked a bit like Diangana when he first broke into the team. He wasn't afraid to take a player on. If he's seen the goal, he wasn't afraid to try and have a shot at goal. And that's what we need on Saturday. We need to be a bit more ruthless. When we played them in the League Cup, there was a lot of tippy-tappy passing. Now, Pellegrini had only just arrived, so we'd lost 3 league games, I think, when we went and played this game against Wimbledon. Confidence was low. The system was new. It's a different ball game now, completely different ball game. And I want to see hunger up there, and I think Hernandez and Silva gives us that. I almost want to see Perez in the team, but the problem is, where do you put him in? It's a risk, because I think if someone needs a goal, it is Perez, but I don't want to risk it. Like Gonzo said, this is the most important game of the season now, and I want the big guns on the bench too. I want to see Anderson on the bench. I want to see Noble on the bench. I want to see Rice on the bench. I want to see all the big guns on there, because if we are struggling, like we were in the League Cup, remember we had to bring on Anderson in the League Cup, and I remember, I could be wrong, I think Snodgrass was our man match that game. Snodgrass was fantastic against him, but I think Perez might have ghosted through that game as well, but I could be wrong. But anyway, Gonzo, are you confident for this one?
Yeah, I am very, very confident, having seen him play last night, very much so.
Apart from seeing them play last night, what makes you so confident?
Well, the goalkeeper looks truly awful, I've got to say. And I don't want to, listen, but there might even be some Wimbledon fans tune into this, and this is a bit, I don't want to make them feel crap, basically, because I'm desperately happy for them to get a new stadium. If there's not many clubs I want to see do well, but I do want to see them do well. So it's no bigger picture, but they didn't look great last night. They really didn't. And I just think if we take it seriously, I think Pellegrini knows the value of winning something. Anyone that wins something at West Ham, I'm telling you now, right, they are heroes forever. You've only got to look at John Law. You've only got to look at Ron Greenwood. You are heroes forever. You know, you look at these people, you look at Alan Taylor, you look at Trevor Brooking, and you are a hero. Not even that. Look at people like Vazte and Harewood and people like that. It's not even, big major cup finals, but involved in playoff things. And you are a hero. And I tell you what, Pellegrini wins this, and I think he knows it. Pellegrini wins this tournament, this cup. He is up there. He is up there. He's put on a pedestal, and I think he's going to take it seriously. And for that reason, I just think we'll have a little bit too much.
Charlie, what about yourself? Are you feeling the confidence?
I'm confident we'll win. And I think even with the 11, which is slightly weaker than yours, I think I'm still confident we can win the game. I'm not so confident that it's going to be a beautiful display of football. In the first game, I think that was the one where someone got red carded really early, and so they just sat deep and went, come at us, then that's all we're going to do. And it basically worked for them for the vast majority of the game up until right at the end. And so we know for a fact they can make it difficult for us. And when teams do sit deep against us, we've shown we've not got enough to break them down consistently. And that's where my concern comes in. But I do think that we've got more than enough to beat them, and I'm confident that we will get the win and go through to the next round.
Yeah, I'm really confident as well. This whole, it'd be typical West Ham to lose, that's out the window now. It was out the window under Bilic. Under Bilic, we never ever lost to a lower league side in the cup. Fact. And I think it's going to be the same under Pellegrini. I think Charlie's right. I don't think it will be beautiful. I think the words I'm expecting to be using on the review is efficient and professional. I think that's the type of display we're going to see. And I'd be disappointed if we see anything but, in all honesty. I think we'll keep Wimbledon at arm's length. This is a defence that's conceded 7 goals in their last 2 games at League One level. If we cannot put a couple past them, we have problems. Or, even if all their players put in a 10 out of 10 performance, I'm sorry, we should still win. It's as simple as that. If we get beat on Saturday, even if it goes to replay, it's because we haven't turned up, or we've turned up with the wrong attitude completely. We will only have ourselves to blame. It's as simple as that, in my opinion. So, with all that in mind, Gonzo, would you care to give me your score prediction?
Yeah, I think we'll win 3. Actually, I'll say 3-1. I was going to say 3-0, but I'm going to see a corner coming over or something like that. Bit of glory for Wimbledon, but I think we'll put at least 3 goals past them, mate.
That's how they scored in the first leg. I'm pretty sure they scored from a corner early on, didn't they? Did they not score within? I
think so. Charlie's definitely right about that card. I mean, yeah, it was getting embarrassing at one point. Seemed to go on forever, didn't it, really? But I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's learned from that, and as you say, different circumstances, because he was under a bit of pressure at the time. In many respects, I think that the defeats of Bournemouth might have done us a little favour there. I think if we'd have beaten Arsenal, then beaten Bournemouth at a canter, we might have strolled up there with a spring in our step, and I think we'll graft for it now. Yeah, fantastic. Charlie, what about yourself? Are you going to go for the same scoreline?
No, I'm going to go 3-0. I think they won't score. I just think they don't have it. I have too much that we can't deal with in them right now. And I think, as Gonzo said, I can see us scoring 3. Even though I don't think it's going to be a brilliant performance, I just see it was one of those ones where we win 3-0 and we go, yeah, that sounds about right.
I'm going to say 3-0 as well. We've got a lot of hungry strikers right now, and the best thing Pellegrini can do is play a couple hopefully they bag one or two. They both get one perhaps, and on the hour mark, just swap them. Just get whoever scored off and put another one on and say, well, they've done it. Your time now. Our striker role is, while now it should be number one. With all the stuff going on, Carroll, Perez, Hernandez, even Silva should all be battling out between themselves to clinch that. So, yeah, 3-0 for me as well. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Let us know in the comments below what lineup you would like to see. We're all different here. Mine and Gonzo's are very similar, however. Let us know what you would like to see and give us your score prediction as well. Myself, Charlie, and one other will be back on Saturday night straight after the review. But Gonzo, enjoy the game.
Thank you, and thank you for those that have helped me go to the game. You know you are. Thank you.
And we'll catch you on Saturday night. Take care.